All right, so welcome again to Military Guna TV, and thank you very much for joining me. And before I get into any much further details, I would really advise you guys to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Now, we were literally put to the swords by the samurais. Put to the swords by the samurais, right? uh, for me, it was an embarrassing defeat. I have to be honest; it was a really embarrassing defeat, and it's not just the defeat. It's not just the scoreline. It was actually the nature of the defeat that was a really embarrassing. And I'm not sure. You have many people are saying that the result of this game is not important because it's just to get to know the players and what we are working with. But if we should really look into things, this is literally our B team, and if this is the standard that our B team is going to give us, that means that our A team will also struggle against such a team. We have to be realistic because in the world that we're living in, we can't be deluded about certain things. And it was for me, as I said, people, I know a lot of you guys may disagree. Put it in the comments. What do you think about this? Do you believe that this game is just a game to see the level that the players are at, or this game is actually a game that is actually telling us the level that the players are at? So it goes to show it's a two-way sword, people. As you know, it's a two-way sword because we're playing against the samurais, the blue samurais. Um, just ironical. So people, let's just be honest and fair with ourselves. This was not a good result. It doesn't matter what we want to say or which direction we can look at it. It's not a good result. It's an embarrassment because we're talking about our national team playing against our the Japan under 24 team. And if you should look at it in another aspect, if other people looking out on the outside looking in, not knowing that it's our B team, they will look and see the Jamaica, the black, green, and gold flag flying, and they will see that it was actually the Jamaican team that got slapped. It doesn't matter. They're not considering the A, B, C, D, or whatever whatever line the team is in. They are looking at what the scoreline is, because the scoreline normally is the truth, and you cannot hide away from the truth. And as I said, it is not about the scoreline only for me. It is actually the nature of the defeat. We were totally owned by the Japan under 24 team. Literally, it was like hot knife through butter, ripping us apart. The midfield was non-existent. The defense was actually the only part of our team that put in a fairly decent amount of work. And guess what? They still conceded 4 goals. The strike force up front was non-existent. They didn't have a shot on target. I think the most shot they had for the entire game was like 3 shots we take for the entire game. But on the other hand of things, when we look across the next side of the well, people normally say that on the other side of the fence, the grass is not normally greener. But when you look over to the Samurai Blues and we see those young lads kicking shot from all different angles on us, it goes to tell that these guys literally are class above what we provided on the day. They literally schooled us, and we have to. It's a must that we be honest about these people. So let's move through the starting lineup, how we set up. We start off in a 4-2-3-1 formation, something that I literally predicted that this is the direction to go, but somewhat different from the starters. As you guys can see, we have Dylan Barnes in goal, which was expected. Wes Arden at right back, Liam Moore. I thought that Damian Lowe would have started alongside Liam Moore, and we have Amari Bell over to the left hand side. So it's Curtis Tilt alongside Liam Moore for this one. In as the midfield pivot, same Devon Speedy Williams and Kevin Lambert, 2 players that I've been crying for, and honestly, they didn't do me fair justice for me to be crying out for them for so long. And I have to be honest, I rate them just according to their performance. It was a bit harsh, but we have to be real. And if as a player you cannot manage these constructive criticism, it's fairly unbalanced of you to think that people should look at that performance and really rate you higher than what is really recommended or desired. We have to be fair on that aspect. Then in the attacking midfield position, the attacking 3, in this essential attacking midfield position, we have Ravel Morrison. Then we have Blair Target on the right, Kamal Malcolm over on the left hand side, and leading the line we had Javon East. Now, in all aspect, people, as I said, this was our really rigid game, a game that I expected the game should be like this, because this Japanese under 24 team have so much players that are playing in the top leagues right across Europe, in which I also did an interview with a Japanese correspondent, Dan Orlowitz, and we spoke about in depthly about the Japanese team and how well they're doing. And he definitely came out and predicted that this game would finish 3-1, in which he was really, really close on that. That was the amount of confidence that he had to predict the game in that aspect of things. Now, when we look at this team, a lot of us can generally say that this is a fairly good enough team to take on this Japanese on beginning of the game. But when the first ball kick for the first 5 minutes, it is normally known that the first 5 minutes you can tell the direction of the game is going. You can get a general concept of how the game will be within the first 5 minutes. Now, what I realized in the first 5 minutes is that we started to use power, pace and power, and try to out muscle them on the pitch. But guess what? They were silky, they were smooth, they were quick in their passing, they were really bouncing the ball around. They were really, and I mean really, really aggressive in how they move the ball. And that you have to look at that as well, because in CONCACAF, we do believe that pace, power, and muscling your opponent is a strategy that we have been implying for so many years. And the narrative is that it is something that can give you success in CONCACAF. But the truth be told is that the most successful team in CONCACAF is actually Mexico. And Mexico is not a team known for pace and power. They are well known for technical ability, passing range, close pass, short passes, tiki-taka style of football, the passing football. And this is the direction that I do believe that we should go. We should not move away from the muscle and the pace and power. Not saying that we should dismantle it, because we are naturally born with those attributes, but we should try to ingrain some of the technical aspect of our game and just refine that area. And I think we would be much more a better team. But definitely these guys, the team that we fielded out, it was sufficiently not good enough to take on this Japanese team, because this Japanese team came to us and they took the game to us at 100%, and we couldn't cope. We definitely couldn't cope. Their high pressing system in the 2 banks of 4, they're pressing 2 banks of 4, and they also vast majority of the possession, up to 60% of the possession, and that can tell you how well they played. We were literally defending for 90% of the game, and it goes to show what we can do. We weren't able to control the midfield area. Speedy Williams and Kevin Lambert were. It's a bit of a communication thing. I won't say it's a talent thing, but I think it's a bit of communication thing. Guys, put it in the comments. What do you think caused the midfield to be non-existent in this area? No, Ravel Morrison was literally lost in the game. For the first half, we didn't see Ravel Morrison. He tried to get himself involved in the game. He tried to get himself on the ball, but it was sufficiently not enough. We spoke about it on the previous the match preview about the best position to play Ravel Morrison, and obviously someone said that Marlon on the show said that the best position to play Ravel Morrison would have been on a number 8 position. But the difficulty in this game is that this Japanese team, they were pressing us so high, we literally were encamping in our own half. Our own defenders were literally inside of the goal. That is how deep we were camping in our own box. Liam Moore, Curtis Stills were just to the right of right and left respectfully of Dylan Barnes, so he could actually touch them inside of the goal. That is how far deep inside of the goal that we were camping, because the first goal that Kuba scored went through Curtis Stilt. Kevin Lambert's engaged when Curtis Stilt also engaged as well. Curtis Stilt went across to Kuba. Kevin Lambert cover, but Kuba, the natural talent that Kuba has, we all know what he had to offer. Kuba actually slotted it home quite easily, run through the legs of Dylan Barnes, Leon Moore, and also Dylan Barnes, and that was when it all went loose. The Evan gates were open. The Evan gates were open, and it came flooding from there. They were taking shots from all angles. They were literally pressing us inside our own half. And it goes to tell this side is a well-drilled team. They know what to do. They also, the problem, one of the things that I realized that they fixed their errors and they fixed their issues on the pitch. We weren't able to do that. And I do believe that we have more than smart enough midfielders, defenders. Well, I won't say the defenders because they were doing their job. We have more than sufficient and smart enough midfielders who could have identified the issues on the pitch and fixed the issues. I don't believe it's a case in which we need to engage in more tackles. I believe that it was a technical aspect of the game in controlling the game. We did not up to control the game. We did not do something. Two things I love to talk about, which is called pressure and release. Now, pressure and release is this. When you have a central midfielder, let's use Kevin Lambert as an example. This is what pressure and release is. So Kevin Lambert is being pressed by two players. In the same sense, what Kevin Lambert will do is, this is what, he comes under pressure. That's the pressure. He will play the ball to the defenders. Curtis Hills, Leon Moore. What that does, it releases the pressure. That is what pressure and release is. So Kevin Lambert will come deeper at the edge of our own 18-yard box at the D and play it off to the defenders, play it around with the defenders, with the left back, with the right back, Curtis Hills and Leon Moore. So make one too many passes, 1, 4, 5, 6 touches and 7, 6 respectively passes as well to keep the ball moving. Let us keep the ball. Let's dominate the ball. Let them work. Let them do the work. Let them do all the running that is necessary. Burn them out. We do know that they have a lot of energy, but I do think that is one of the things that we should have done. Pressure and release using the midfield. Speedy Williams link up play between Kevin and Lambert. This would be the perfect opportunity for Ravel Morrison to come in at the halfway line to come and pick up the ball and drive through the central of the pitch, linking up with Ravel Morrison and Blair Turgott. But we did not do that. We couldn't manage to solve our own issues. The problems were in our face on the pitch, and we just couldn't cope. And it goes to show that we definitely will need to. We have a lot of things to work on. Moving towards the Gold Cup, we have so much things to work on. And I do think that Mr. Whitmore is looking into these things and he's taking his analytics, because this is a game, this is a template of how, look at this under 24 team. This is a template of the level that we want to be at. That is the level that we want to be at and more. Our go further than that. But that is a template. Where we are right now, we have to be realistic. We are not at the level that we want to be. We're trying to go there. We have to be honest. We are trying to go there, but definitely that is not the level that we want to be. And time will come in which we see a more influx of other players who can say these players might bring a bit more to the team, and let's see what those players have to offer. But in all essence, it was not the best result. It's definitely not the best result. And also, on a scale of performance, it was definitely not a good performance, and I was looking forward to see a good performance. I did know that the two games that we would have played, which have been the Japanese first team and also the Serbia game, I was looking for a bit of performance and use that as a testament to see where we're at. But when I see a game like this, it definitely tells us that we are way off the pace. Yes, we could look at it that it's a weakened team, but in the same sense, you can't tell me that a weakened team cannot defeat the under 24 team. They only have 3 players of the ilk, I would say, above the level, the age bracket of 24. So these guys are young men. Young men, yes, they are playing at a high level. It goes to show that we are lacking in a lot of areas. But they did take the game to us. They did defeat us. And let's be honest, people, they slapped us. They really, really flagged us. There's no other way about it. They took the game to us and they slapped us. And if they could have slapped us any further, it would have been an embarrassment. We could have easily lost the game 6-0. A goal in the first half, a penalty, would have almost conceded a penalty in the first half. Another instance where Jaden White took a bit to clear the ball off his line, and then we could have conceded a goal from that as well. There's a few opportunities where Kuba got through and hit the bar as well. They hit side netty. They took so many chances. They created so many chances, and it's just that they weren't able to finish a lot of them. But in all essence, they took the game to us and they taught us a lesson. They really, really taught us a lesson, and this is something that we have to look at and say, okay, what have we learned from this? First thing first, we have learned from this is we're not at the level right now. That is the first thing. We're not at the level. Secondly, Fitness. We need to work on our fitness. We became jaded in the 70 minutes going forward, and that is where they began the dominant performance and overthrow in every department. First ball, second ball, it was all theirs. So in this, we need to work on fitness as well, because there's no way as a professional we should look that jaded at 70 minutes. We should not use the excuse that these guys are fitter than us. That shouldn't be an excuse. We should be fit. We're professional. It is mandatory. It is a part of our job. Now, another thing that I take away from the game is this. We don't know when to transition. We don't know when to transition into attack from defense. We want to sit back and try to catch a team on counter, but we do not know when to transition. There was so much opportunity that opened that we could not transition. It could also be the final pass, because we see a lot of times that Blair Turgott and Kemal Malcolm breaking through the channels, and we didn't see the long balls coming from either midfielders. Utilizing those channels to ease the pressure off us. One of the things that I do think that we miss from this game is someone who can hold up the ball up front. When you have a striker that can hold up the ball up front, what that does, it allows a bit of pressure, a bit of release of pressure from the midfield and also the defense. You hold up the ball, you give the defenders, you give the midfielders time to rest and also recover and recuperate, and also go in the advanced position to come and help you and assist you. So all of the ball, win a few fouls. These are the small, dark art tactics that we can use to control the tempo of the game. Put your body in between the man and the ball, win a foul. Simple. Pressure and release. Ease the pressure of the team. Your team can recuperate. These are some you guys should be taught, because you guys should already know these things. But it was pretty much a disappointing performance. It's, as I said, it's not the result. It's actually the nature of the loss. We went down without a real fight. We went down to without a definite fight, people. But so much to say about this one. Definitely, people. Let's run through with this, because I've been speaking for such a long time. Dylan Barnes, for me, not bad. He conceded 4 goals. There's no much you can say about that. He rushed out a few times. Awkward. Dylan Barnes, for me, I'm giving Dylan Barnes a 3. This is going to be a very, very harsh, player ratings, people, and I want us to be realistic, people. We got slapped 4-0 from the under-24 team. There's no other way about it. This is constructive criticism, people. This is constructive criticism. West Arden, right back position, he could have done a lot better. West Arden gets a 3 for me. Liam Moore and Curtis Still, these guys are the 2 standout players for me, because they did put in solid performance. They soaked up so much pressure and they tried their best. Both of them receive a 5 for me. Amar Bell, both Amar Bell and West Arden receive a 3 because the Japanese team was overlapping on both sides. Kevin Lambert and Speedy Williams, they were really non-existent in the midfield, and we were being overrun in the midfield. They were literally doing a lot more running than trying to dominate the midfield with the ball. And when you receive the ball, 1 touch, 2 touch, move away from the ball, make space, open channels. I think a bit of team cohesiveness is also a problem. Communication, chemistry, these are problems, but I think these are areas that we can work on in the future. So Kevin Lambert and Devon Speedy Williams both get 3 from me. Ravel Morrison, non-existent in the game. He did try. I expect a high touch player. I expect him to be a high touch player. He literally was out of the game. He was played off the park, basically. But 2.5. Blair Turgott, he tried, but nothing much from him. He was one of the persons who got off one of the shots as well. He tried. He was trying to utilize it. He was trying to utilize the channels, but no one was seeing him. But he did try. So Blair Turgott got a 3 for me. Kamal Malcolm, this was a very bad game for Malcolm. He didn't account for himself in this game. So Malcolm will get a 2. Javon East, I expected more from him. Javon East was also non-existent in this game. I give Javon East a 2 as well. I won't judge the substitutions, because many of them didn't have much time to come on the field and do anything. But people, this has been fairly enough for me. Overall team performance, it has to be a 3 out of 10. Out of 10, it has to be a 3 out of 10. An overall team performance. So people, thank you very much for tuning in. This has been Military Guna TV. This has been a really, really sad result. A very, very bad result. We were literally slapped. So it's a bad one. Military Guna TV people, stay tuned. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, put it in the comments, people. Let me know if I'm being too harsh. Please let me know if I'm being too harsh. If I could have done a lot better than that. So people, please let me know. People, this has been a good one. Massive disappointment for me, people. Military Guna TV people. Hit the like button. I'm out.